Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Easy English podcast from English Life Channel, your friendly place to listen, practice, and improve your English through real conversations. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Alex. Hello, Sarah, and hello, everyone. It's good to be back.
Alex, have you changed anything about your routine recently?
Actually, yes. Nothing dramatic. I changed one small part of how I end my day.
Just one thing?
Just one. My days felt rushed and repetitive, so I stopped trying to fix everything and adjusted one part.
Did it help?
More than I expected. My life isn't perfect, but my evenings feel calmer.
So it was small, but you felt the difference.
Yes. I used to think changing my life required a huge plan.
How long did those plans last?
About 2 days. By day 3, reading the plan felt like work.
That may sound familiar. We want change, but we don't always know where to start.
Or we think the first step has to be enormous.
It doesn't. If you've been waiting for the perfect moment, today's message is simple. It's time to change your life. Not all at once, but with one useful step you can begin today.
And we'll learn useful English for describing goals, habits, setbacks, and progress.
Listen for expressions that fit your life, and when we pause, make one personal sentence. Stay with us, because before we finish, Alex will use today's English to build a complete change plan.
No pressure then.
Only a little.
All right, I'm ready.
Then let's begin with an important question. When you say you want to change your life, what do you actually want to change?
That's the difficult part. I know I want my life to feel better, but better can mean almost anything.
That's common. Before we make it more specific, notice the phrase, change my life. It often suggests a major result. A new opportunity can change your life. Meeting someone important can change your life. Learning a skill can change your life over time.
But when I adjust one behavior, make a change sounds more natural.
Yes, you can say, I made a small change to my daily routine.
Or, I'm trying to make a change.
Right. That focuses on the change you're making. We also say, change things up, when we want some variety. For example, my weekends felt repetitive, so I changed things up and tried a new activity.
That sounds more casual.
It is. Then there's turn things around. That means improving a situation that has been going badly.
So if my routine has been difficult and then begins improving, I could say, I'm trying to turn things around.
You could, although it still sounds stronger than make a small change. It depends on the situation.
Let me test this. Adjusting one habit is making a small change. Improving a difficult situation is turning things around. And learning English could change someone's life.
Nice distinction. The size and the situation show us which expression fits.
That makes the difference clearer. If practical explanations like this help you, please give the episode a like.
Now, back to my original question. What would better mean for you?
Healthier, calmer, richer, more interesting, everything.
If you choose everything, where do you begin?
Usually with a new notebook. Then I write new life plan on the first page and avoid the second page.
At least the title is finished.
Beautiful handwriting, too.
Let's make that more specific. What isn't working about your evenings?
I finish work, sit down with my phone, and suddenly an hour has disappeared.
That is clear. A natural sentence is, my evening routine isn't working well for me.
That sounds calmer than, my evenings are terrible.
Much calmer, and probably more accurate. You could also say, I've been feeling stuck in the same evening routine.
Why did you use I've been feeling instead of I feel?
I feel stuck is correct. I've been feeling stuck emphasizes that the feeling has continued recently. It also sounds reflective, as if you have noticed a pattern.
And what about I'm in a rut? I hear that sometimes.
That's a natural, informal expression. A rut is a repeated pattern that feels hard to escape. You might tell a friend, "I feel like I'm in a rut." At work, I would usually choose something more neutral, such as, "I've noticed that my current routine isn't working well."
So friend language can be more personal, while workplace language may focus on the situation.
Usually, yes. Now we have our first useful question. What isn't working?
My evening phone habit isn't working for me.
Second question. What would better look like?
I'd finish the evening feeling calm. I'd read a little, prepare for the next morning, and go to bed on time.
Third question. What can you control this week?
I can control when I put my phone down. I can't control every message that arrives, but I can control whether I answer it immediately.
That last distinction matters. A useful plan focuses on something you can do, not on controlling every result.
Let's give listeners a moment. Think of one part of your life you'd like to improve. What isn't working? What would better look like? And what can you control this week?
You don't need a perfect answer. One honest detail is enough.
Mine is clear now. I want less stress in the evening.
That describes the result you want, but can you perform less stress?
Perform it? No. I can't put less stress on my calendar at 7 o'clock.
Right. Here's a useful test. If a camera recorded your evening, what action would it see?
It would see me leave my phone in the hallway at 10 o'clock.
Good. Now your goal has become visible. I want less stress is the result. I'm going to put my phone away at 10 is the action.
And that action is small enough to begin today. I don't need to wait for Monday, a new month, or a completely different life.
Exactly. Starting today doesn't mean changing everything today.
What if someone wants to get healthier?
Get healthier is a direction. The action might be, I'm going to walk for 20 minutes after lunch 3 days this week.
Anna, I think your coffee order tells me a lot about you. Yeah, I noticed it this morning.
That's practical and specific.
I notice you said 3 days this week, not every day forever.
Because a realistic plan needs a starting period. Forever creates pressure, but gives you nothing useful to measure today.
So we're not making the goal smaller because the person is weak. We're making the first action clear enough to do.
Precisely. Here is another helpful pattern. I'd like to make more time for reading, so this week I'm going to read for 10 minutes before bed.
Make time for means create space in your schedule, right?
Yes. We don't usually find extra time waiting in a drawer. We decide what will receive our time.
I'd like to make more time for sleep. That sounds strange because I'm not doing something during the extra time.
It still works. You might say, I'm trying to make more time for sleep by ending my evenings earlier.
And if I want to use my phone less, I can say, I'm trying to cut back on screen time.
Exactly. Cut back on means reduce the amount. We commonly cut back on screen time, coffee, sugar, spending, or unnecessary meetings.
Can I say, I'm cutting my phone?
Only if your phone has done something truly unforgivable. Say, I'm cutting back on phone use. Or more naturally, I'm trying to spend less time on my phone.
My phone is relieved.
Let's fix 2 common sentence problems while we're here. We say, I want to change my routine with to after want. And we say, I want to make a change, not do a change.
I want change. My routine is missing to and do a change uses the wrong verb.
Right. Try one personal sentence now. I'd like to make more time for, or I'm trying to cut back on.
Keep it real. Choose something that actually belongs in your life.
Alex, earlier you said, I'm trying to put my phone away at 10. Are you trying, planning, hoping, or definitely doing it?
Aren't those basically the same?
They point in the same direction, but they show different levels of certainty.
Okay, test me.
I'm hoping to put my phone away earlier. What do you hear?
I want it to happen, but the plan may not be clear yet.
Right. The intention is there, but the plan isn't settled. I'm planning to put it away at 10.
There is a plan. Maybe I've chosen the time, but the action is still in the future.
I'm going to put it away at 10.
Stronger. I've made the decision.
And I'm trying to put it away at 10.
The action may already be difficult, and I'm making an effort.
That's the important nuance. Trying to is not always weak. It can honestly describe effort during a difficult change.
So if I say, I'm trying to cut back on coffee, I may have begun, but I'm not succeeding every day.
Exactly. If you say, I'm going to cut back on coffee, you're announcing the decision. If you say, I'm hoping to, it sounds less settled.
With a friend, could I simply say, I'm thinking about cutting back on coffee?
Yes, and that is even earlier in the process. You are considering the idea, not promising action.
Let me arrange them. I'm thinking about means the idea is forming. I'm hoping to expresses a wish. I'm planning to shows preparation. I'm going to shows a decision. I'm trying to shows effort in progress.
Nicely done. Real life is not a perfect ladder, but that comparison will help learners choose honestly.
Which one fits my phone plan? I actually started a rough version 2 weeks ago. I moved the charger to the hallway, and I chose 10 o'clock.
What do you think?
I'm going to leave my phone in the hallway at 10, and I'm trying to stick with that routine.
You used 2 stages in one answer. The first is your decision. The second recognizes that consistency takes effort.
Stick with means continue doing something, even when it becomes difficult.
Yes. Listen to the stress in this sentence. I'm trying to stick with it. The important beats are trying and stick.
In normal conversation, the smaller words become lighter. I'm trying to stick with it.
Good. Say it once in your own voice if it fits your situation.
I'm trying to stick with it.
A decision is helpful, but at 10 o'clock, your tired brain may not care about today's beautiful sentence.
That is rude but accurate. Tired Alex has very different values.
Then make the action easier. What happens immediately before 10?
I usually make tea.
There's your cue. You can say, after I make my tea, I'll put my phone on the hallway charger.
So the first action reminds me to do the second one.
Right. The structure is simple. After I do this, I'll do that.
After I brush my teeth, I'll prepare my clothes for the morning.
Good. Can you connect it to English practice?
After I eat lunch, I'll listen to English for 5 minutes.
That works because lunch already has a place in your day.
But what if my phone is still beside me? I could put it away and then walk 2 steps to get it back.
That is why environment matters. Make the helpful choice easier and the unhelpful choice slightly harder.
Slightly harder? I don't need to lock my phone in a bank vault?
Probably not. You could turn off unnecessary notifications, keep the charger outside the bedroom, or place a book where the phone used to be.
So when my hand reaches toward the table, it finds a book.
Unless your hand files a complaint.
It might. My hand has enjoyed a very easy life.
Notice the useful language. I moved the charger to make it easier to put my phone away. We use make it easier to plus the action.
And the opposite is, I turned off notifications to make it harder to get distracted.
Now you're designing the environment instead of relying on willpower every minute.
I'm not sure about that. Don't people need discipline?
They do, but discipline and environment can work together. If you remove one unnecessary obstacle, you save your attention for the harder part.
Fair enough. My plan is not become a person with perfect discipline. It is give tired Alex fewer buttons to press.
Now you sound practical.
There's another obstacle. My friends sometimes message late. If I stop answering, they may think I'm ignoring them.
That creates a communication problem, which is where English becomes especially useful. What could you tell a close friend?
I'm trying to stay off my phone after 10, so I may answer in the morning.
Natural and clear. It explains the change without asking permission.
Could I ask a friend to help me stay consistent?
Yes. Try, could you check in with me on Friday and ask how it's going?
Check in with me means contact me briefly and see how I'm doing.
Right. It feels supportive, not controlling.
I should not say, please control me on Friday.
Definitely not. That sounds as if your friend has received a very unusual job.
What can the friend say when offering help?
Would it help if I checked in with you? Or, more casually, want me to check in later this week?
I like another question you used earlier. What would make that easier?
That is excellent support language because it does not assume you know what the other person needs.
Let's test it. You tell me you want to walk before work. I say, what would make that easier?
I might answer, it would help if I prepared my clothes the night before.
Then I could say, want me to text you on Wednesday morning?
Perfectly natural between friends.
Does the same language work with a coworker or manager?
Some of it does, but work changes may require boundaries. Imagine that your goal is to finish work on time, but a coworker gives you another task at 5 o'clock.
My honest reaction would be, no. I'm changing my life.
Honest? Yes. Helpful? No.
What would you say?
To a coworker, you could say, I can't take that on today, but I can look at it tomorrow morning.
Clear boundary plus an alternative.
To a manager, you may need more context. I'm currently finishing the client report. I can complete that or begin this new task today. Which is more urgent?
That doesn't simply refuse the work. It makes the competing priorities visible.
Exactly. Another useful sentence is, I'm trying to protect some focused time this afternoon. Could we discuss this at 3?
Protect time sounds professional. It means keep that time available for its purpose.
Yes. Compare these two versions. I don't want more work, and I don't have room for another task today.
The first focuses on my feelings and may sound blunt. The second explains my capacity.
You could soften it further. I don't have room for another task today, but I can help tomorrow.
With a close friend, though, I might say, I'm trying not to overbook myself this week.
Very natural. Overbook myself means accept more plans or responsibilities than I have time for.
That phrase may help me more than my original huge plan.
One small change at a time, Alex.
All right. I made my plan, changed my environment, and asked for support. Now everything goes perfectly.
Does it?
No. I was hoping you'd let me enjoy that idea for another 5 seconds.
What happened?
I followed the phone plan for 3 nights. On the 4th night, I watched a movie, answered one message, opened another app, and went to bed very late. The next night, I did it again.
And what did you tell yourself?
I ruined the whole plan. I have no discipline.
Both statements are bigger than the facts. What actually happened?
I missed 2 nights.
That is accurate. I missed 2 nights, describes the behavior. I ruined everything turns 2 events into a permanent identity.
Can I say I slipped up?
Yes. I slipped up means you made a small mistake or returned briefly to an unwanted behavior. It is informal and common.
What about I fell off track?
We more commonly say, I got off track. It means you stopped following the plan for a while. Then you can say, I'm getting back on track.
So a natural update is, I did well for 3 days, got off track for 2, and now I'm getting back on track.
That sentence is honest. It includes success, difficulty, and the next movement.
It also sounds less dramatic than my first version.
Much less. A setback is information. Maybe the plan failed at a specific time or under a specific condition.
Mine failed when the evening was different from normal.
Then your plan needs an exception. What could you do on movie nights?
I could put the phone away when the movie ends instead of at 10.
Good. You are adjusting the method, not abandoning the goal.
Wait, if I change the rule, am I making excuses?
It depends. If every evening suddenly becomes a special exception, probably. But a planned alternative can make the routine realistic.
So, on regular nights, I'll put it away at 10. On movie nights, I'll put it away when the movie ends.
Clear and measurable.
Have you ever made a plan that was too strict?
Yes. I once decided I would prepare lunch at home every single workday. For the first week, I cooked carefully, labeled containers, and felt extremely organized. Then one evening, I got home late. I had no food prepared, so I bought lunch the next day.
One purchased lunch. A terrible fall from greatness.
Apparently, I said, well, the plan is broken now. Then I bought lunch for the rest of the week.
That sounds familiar. One exception became permission to stop completely.
Right. The useful repair was simple. I missed one day. I can prepare something tonight. I didn't need to begin a new life on a special date. I just needed to continue at the next opportunity.
That word, continue, feels important. People often say, I have to start over.
And start over can make previous effort feel erased. Sometimes it is more accurate to say, I'm continuing after a break.
I like that. I'm not back at zero. I already know which part was difficult.
Exactly. Another natural phrase is, I had an off day. It means the day did not go as well as usual.
Could I say, I had an off week?
Yes. Just don't use it to hide a serious problem. For an ordinary, temporary difficulty, it works well.
Here's my repair. I had a couple of off days, but I haven't given up. I'm getting back to it tonight.
Strong, realistic language. Notice, haven't given up. The present perfect connects the past difficulty with your situation now.
We're going to use more language like that when we talk about progress, aren't we?
You're getting ahead of me.
I'm starting to get the hang of this.
You are, and you sound pleased with yourself.
I've been listening carefully.
And you just used the present perfect continuous correctly. I've been listening. It describes an activity continuing over a recent period.
So if a friend asks, how's your new routine going? I can say, I've been putting my phone away earlier for 2 weeks.
Yes, that gives the activity and the time period.
But I didn't do it every night.
The sentence doesn't necessarily promise perfection. If you want to be precise, add most nights.
I've been putting my phone away earlier most nights for 2 weeks.
You can also begin with so far. So far, I've followed the plan 9 times.
So far covers the period from the beginning until now.
Right. Still shows that something continues. I'm still working on my evening routine.
And yet leaves the future open. I haven't noticed a huge difference yet.
Exactly. It hasn't worked can sound final. It hasn't worked yet means you're still waiting or continuing.
But yet doesn't promise that it will work later.
Right. It leaves room for possibility, not certainty. A balanced update might be, it's going better than I expected, but I'm still working on consistency.
That sounds useful in many situations. Exercise, studying, saving money, or speaking English.
Suppose someone asks about your English. You might say, I've been practicing regularly. I still pause sometimes, but speaking feels easier than it did 3 months ago.
That answer recognizes progress without pretending the difficulty has disappeared.
Yes, honest progress language usually contains evidence. What have you done? What have you noticed? What remains difficult?
Let me answer those about my routine. I've left my phone outside the bedroom 9 times. I've noticed that I fall asleep faster. Late messages are still difficult.
Clear, specific, and believable.
Listeners, think about one change you have already begun. Complete one sentence. So far, I've...
If you haven't begun yet, use so far I've decided to. A clear decision can be the first stage.
Sarah, I'm seeing another problem in my plan.
What is it?
I wanted to put the phone away at 10 every night, prepare my clothes, read for 20 minutes, write tomorrow's plan, and be asleep by 11.
That is not one change. That is a small evening company with 5 departments.
I knew you were going to say something like that.
Which action creates the greatest benefit?
Putting the phone away. If I do that, the other actions become easier.
Then keep that as the main plan. The others can be optional for now.
But if I reduce the plan, aren't I lowering my standards?
Maybe. But lowering the size of the first step is not always lowering the value of the goal.
I'm not completely convinced.
Good. Challenge it. What worries you?
If I always make a plan easier when it becomes uncomfortable, I may never grow.
That is a fair concern. Difficulty is not automatically a sign that the plan is wrong. Ask a better question. Is the difficulty helping me grow, or is the design making consistency unnecessarily hard?
Give me an example of the difference.
Feeling slightly uncomfortable during a 20-minute walk may be part of building fitness. Planning a 2-hour workout every morning when you have only 30 free minutes is a design problem.
So discomfort can belong to the action, but the action still has to fit reality.
Exactly. If it doesn't fit, you can scale it back. That means make it smaller.
I planned to study for an hour every night, but I scaled it back to 20 minutes.
Good. You can also adjust the plan or revise the plan. Those phrases sound neutral and practical.
What if the whole method is wrong?
Then say, this approach isn't working for me, so I'm trying a different one.
That does not mean the goal is wrong.
Correct. Separate the goal from the method. Your goal may be to speak more English. Your first method may be studying alone with a difficult textbook. If that method keeps holding you back, you might join a conversation group instead.
Same goal, different route.
Exactly.
You used exactly after I contributed something useful.
I did.
I'm counting that as progress.
You should. Now, how would you change your evening plan?
I'm going to focus on one action, leaving my phone in the hallway after I make tea. I'll aim for 5 nights a week, not 7. On movie nights, I'll do it when the movie ends. I can add reading later if the first routine becomes steady.
That sounds doable.
Doable means realistic enough to do.
Look at you, explaining useful language without being asked.
I told you I was paying attention. Now you promised that I would help you with a change.
I did. Here is mine. I want a better work-life balance.
Hold on. That describes the result, not the action.
You caught it quickly.
What isn't working?
I keep checking work email late in the evening. Even when there is nothing urgent, I look again.
What would better look like?
I would finish work, enjoy my evening, and respond to ordinary messages the next morning.
What can you control this week?
I can stop checking email after 7:30.
Every night?
That was my first thought.
I'd change one part. What happens if there is a genuinely urgent project?
Good question. I need a clear exception instead of a vague excuse.
Maybe, on normal evenings, I won't check email after 7:30. If I'm responsible for an urgent deadline, I'll choose one specific time to check.
That is more realistic than pretending every evening is identical.
Now choose your commitment phrase. Are you thinking about it, hoping, planning, or going to do it?
I've already changed the notification settings, so I'm going to stop checking after 7:30 on normal evenings.
What will make it easier?
I'll remove the email app from my home screen and leave my laptop in the office.
Would support help?
Yes. I could tell my team, I'm changing my evening availability. If something is truly urgent after 7:30, please call me. I'll respond to regular messages the next morning.
Clear, professional, and not unfriendly.
Would you say, I'm changing my availability to a close friend?
Probably not. To a friend, I'd say, I'm trying to stay off work email in the evening.
Nice register distinction.
And if you check email one night, you'll say, I checked once, not I destroyed my work-life balance forever.
You have learned my weakness for dramatic language.
I learned from an excellent guide.
Fair enough. What if my manager keeps sending several tasks near the end of the day?
I shouldn't tell the manager, your emails are ruining my new life.
I'm glad we agree on that.
I could say, I've noticed that several urgent tasks are arriving late in the day. Could we review the priorities earlier so I can plan my time more effectively?
That is strong. You describe the pattern, explain the effect, and request a practical change.
If two tasks compete, I can ask, I can finish the report or prepare the presentation this afternoon. Which should take priority?
You are no longer only discussing a personal habit. You are solving a real communication problem.
And if the manager says both are urgent?
Then we may need a future episode called How to Remain Calm in a Very Long Meeting.
Haha, I'll finally write that idea on page 2 of my new life plan.
So page 2 is finally getting some attention.
Let's test everything with another situation. Imagine a learner says, I want to speak English fluently.
Good goal, but still broad. What would you ask?
What would progress look like this month?
The learner might answer, I want to speak for 2 minutes about my day without translating every sentence first.
Now, we need a visible action. After dinner, I'll record a 2-minute voice note in English 3 times a week.
Very good. What might get in the way?
Embarrassment. The learner may dislike hearing their own voice.
What could the learner say without pretending to feel confident?
It feels uncomfortable, but I'm getting used to it.
Excellent. Get used to means become familiar or comfortable through experience.
The learner could ask a friend, could I send you 1 voice note on Friday? You don't need to correct everything. Just tell me whether the main idea is clear.
That request is specific. It prevents the friend from becoming an unpaid full-time teacher.
If the learner misses a week, they can say, I got off track last week, so I'm scaling the practice back to 1 minute and trying again tonight.
That one sentence brought several of our earlier ideas together.
And after a month, so far, I've recorded 9 voice notes. I still pause, but I'm speaking more easily than before.
That is the kind of progress learners can notice and explain.
I think I understand the larger lesson now. Changing your life is not one dramatic sentence. It is a series of clear conversations, with yourself and sometimes with other people.
I'd add one detail. Language does not replace action, but clear language can help you choose, explain, and continue an action.
Fair enough. That distinction matters.
You really are tracking the conversation.
Then let's help listeners build their own short change plan.
Choose one area. It could involve your routine, health, work, money, relationships, rest, or English learning. Keep it personal and realistic.
We'll build it 1 sentence at a time.
Start by describing what you've noticed. You can begin, I've realized that. Finish the sentence with something true for you.
Mine is, I've realized that using my phone late at night makes my mornings harder.
Now name the change you want. Try. I'd like to make more time for, or I'm trying to cut back on. Choose the one that fits you.
I'd say, I'm trying to cut back on screen time before bed.
Next, choose one visible action. Begin, this week, I'm going to make it realistic.
Mine is, this week, on 5 different nights, I'm going to leave my phone in the hallway at 10.
Now make that action easier. You can use after I'll, or to make it easier, I'll. What could remind or support you?
For me, tea can be the reminder. After I make tea, I'll put my phone on the hallway charger.
Finally, prepare for an imperfect day. Complete this sentence. If I miss a day, I'll take a little more time with this one.
My answer is, if I miss a night, I'll get back to it the following evening instead of waiting for a new week.
That gives you a clear way to continue. If you've already started making your change, add one progress sentence. Try, so far, I've, or I'm still working on. Think about what is true for you today.
Mine is, so far, I've left my phone in the hallway 9 times, and I'm already falling asleep faster.
If you haven't started yet, that's fine. You can say, so far, I've decided to, or save this sentence and return to it after a week.
Let me put my entire plan together without help.
Go ahead.
I've realized that using my phone late at night makes my mornings harder. I'm trying to cut back on screen time before bed. This week, I'm going to leave my phone in the hallway by 10 on 5 different nights. After I make tea, I'll put it on the charger. On movie nights, I'll do it when the movie ends. If I miss a night, I'll get back to it the following evening instead of waiting for a new week. So far, I've done it 9 times, and I'm already falling asleep faster.
That is specific, balanced, and natural. More importantly, it sounds like a plan you can actually follow.
1 phone in the hallway, 1 realistic routine, and no announcement that I have become a new human being.
That is real progress.
And your plan is to stop checking ordinary work email after 7:30, with a clear exception for genuine emergencies.
You remembered it and explained it accurately. Now you're the one reminding me.
Temporarily, I still have questions for the next episode.
I would be worried if you didn't.
Listeners, tell us in the comments about one change you're trying to make and one realistic step you'll take this week.
For example, I'm trying to improve my English, so this week I'm going to practice speaking for 5 minutes after dinner. Keep your answer simple. Mistakes are welcome because the comment is practice, not a test.
If this conversation helped you speak about change more naturally, subscribe to English Life channel and join us for the next practical English conversation.
Thank you for spending this time with us. If something in your life needs to change, don't wait for a perfect plan. Choose one clear step and begin today.
It's time to change your life, one realistic step at a time.
Take care, everyone.
Goodbye.